Hello, everybody, and sorry for the problem here, but I am having an issue with my scene. So give me 1 second here while I get things corrected.
While he's doing that, folks, it's been a hot minute since the last episode, and I want to apologize for that. Shit was going down in life. I'm not going to get into it, but we're on the up. Things are going to get better soon. I'm back in the shit with Mike's Hard Lemonade. I did not mean to say Mike's. With us today, we got Peeps, Joey Peeps, Pepperelli, and Pistachijoe, everyone's favorite Joe Swanson impersonator. Say hi, boys.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
What's up, Ed? How's it going?
I think I don't know. Today it's just going to be a roundtable, right? I mean, we're going to be discussing some things. We're going to be getting to know Peeps, um, hyping up AKUMA. What else is on the board?
Really, yeah, we're just gonna focus on the Street Fighter 6 patch. I mean, quite a
Mhm.
major patch that we had come out this week, and like I said, apologize for the slow start here. It's been a minute, and we kind of are doing this quickly off the cuff. We're gonna get back into our regular scheduled programming very soon.
Mm-hmm.
But for the time being, yeah, just tonight. We got a pretty regular member in the OppBlock here, Peeps. As far as I know, Street Fighter 6 is like your first major fighting game that you're like competing in. You're
Yeah,
kind of new to the FGC as a community.
yeah. Hi, Peeps Pepperelli. But you can just call me Peeps. So Street Fighter 6 is my pretty much my first competitive fighting game. I've always played fighting games kind of a little bit casually with like my brother and some friends. But I mean, I always like buy like like Street Fighter 6 or Soul Calibur or even Mortal Kombat and just play just like up to probably around 20 hours like of the game. Then I drop it because none of my other friends wanted to get better at it. But once Street Fighter 6 came out, I kind of like told myself I'm going to go out there and just meet people and just try to get good at it because I always appreciated the pros at fighting games. Like I always knew who Knuckle Doo was, or like in Punk and Daigo and everyone like that. It it's been a really awesome experience, and it's really cool being playing games with people like in person and seeing that there's people out there who are willing to invest in you and try to help you get better. And I think they've done good job at that, and I think that I've been improving quite a bit since the game came out in June last year. But through that, like I've met awesome people such as you guys and everyone else in the Tampa FGC team, and it's been a blast so far.
Yeah, it's really odd. I mean, the scene is really something else, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of jealous that I've been in it for so long. I kind of forget what it was like coming in here, but it is such an inviting community. It really is.
Yeah, I was told that that was not always the case, but recently that has changed. And but I'm glad that I came in when I did, even though that part of me like wishes that I was a little bit braver as a kid when Street Fighter 4 came out to meet people to get better at it. But honestly, the friendships that I made so far has been priceless, and the fact that I've only known people for like less than a year and going to be traveling with them to CEO and also Evo this year is kind of crazy to me.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Yep, we're
that's
gonna
wild.
be
For sure.
three of us here today are gonna be attending Evo. It's pretty exciting. Me and Joe are roommates for
Heh.
Evo, and I know a lot of the Tampa FGC's going, and I'm glad to hear that Peeps is part of the crew. It wouldn't be the same without you
Mm-hmm.
being there, Peeps.
Thanks, man.
Everybody
Appreciate
give
you
a big
guys.
old shout out to Peeps Pepperelli. Man, I can't say I've had too much participation in a fighting game community outside of this server. Back in like I want to say 2019, 2018, 2019, we had Versus Arcade, and that was really cool. And I like going to that local, but then COVID happened and it closed down for like forever. And after that, we never had a local again. But hopefully this year I can change that and I can go to like a major or something because it's an experience that I've really been wanting to have for a long time. You know, I think it's something pretty magical that you like have to see for yourself at least once or twice. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never gotten to go. Big bucket list item for me, so super excited to be there. And I don't know, it's pretty boring week otherwise. And I don't. Has anything else happened this week in fighting game stuff?
Mm.
Mm,
So besides the huge release of Akuma,
Oh, that's right. The last 48 hours of my
yeah,
life. That's right.
yeah. Besides Akuma and the big patch for Street Fighter, it might as well be the Ryu patch, by the way. Besides that stuff, there was rollback announced for Samurai Showdown 2019 on consoles, which whoop-de-doo, you're like 6 years too late now.
Yeah, that ship
Um,
I
has
was
sailed.
I was gonna
yeah,
say, was that already on PC? But they just announced it on console.
right,
Uh,
exactly.
that ship
And
is
there's
not
no
only
crossplay.
that
There's
ship
no
has not
crossplay, by
only
the way.
sailed, Ed, it has sailed,
It's synced.
finished its mission, and been retired and commissioned, and the
Exactly.
wood's being reused for other ships.
And
Yeah.
then it's synced.
You,
Exactly.
you know that's such a shame because the new Samurai Showdown, if I say new, the one that came out 6 years ago, is such a cool game,
It was
and
very cool. I loved
it,
playing it. It was
and
so fun.
yeah, it was such a blast. But like
Mhm.
playing online was complete ass,
Oh, it was
and
garbage.
yeah, and so I wish that I would like honestly part of it is like I wish COVID never happened, but part of me is kind of thankful that it did happen because we get pulled back in fighting games. Is that selfish
Absolutely.
of me?
Yeah.
No, no. I think the Chinese specifically corroborated for that to happen. I think they wanted that to be a side effect of the entire pandemic, and it worked. That is not a real assumption, by the way. That was just a joke. I don't think it's true. You,
uh,
you, you all got super quiet when I started saying that. I'm scared.
oh, you're good.
Brother,
You're
I
good.
don't
You're
know
good. You're
you.
good.
That's the,
Well,
so I
oh,
was
Bonnie.
getting really scared for a second.
no, dude.
Yep.
Okay, all right, peeps. Let's get
You're
this
good.
one
You're
out of the
good.
way. Let's get this one out of the way. With me, it's all riffs. It's all goofs. All right. I love. I'm just here to have a good time by everybody else. Let's see here. Besides Akuma, Grand Blue kind of made a stinker. They decided to release a new character on the same day that Akuma came out, and I think that was a really bad idea. But there's a new character for Grand Blue, and she's basically Soul Bad Guy if Soul Bad Guy was a girl.
Oh yeah. Beatrix, is that her name?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
She literally has a bunch of Soul Bad Guy's moves, a bunch of his animations, and she's got like a weird time manipulation gimmick thing. I haven't played the patch yet, but I think they kind of messed up with their release schedule. I really think they should have done it earlier or after Akuma. I don't know, but Akuma was a character that people have been wanting for years, or not years, but like you know what I mean. Since in the 9 years that Street Fighter 6 came out, people were like, "Where is Akuma?" And now he's here. So that's I don't know. I think that's a bigger thing than anime game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Street Fighter 6 patch is huge. It's what we've been waiting for a year. It's been almost exactly a year at this point. We're 2, 3 weeks shy of it being a full year. Um,
Run me through some of the big changes, man, because I'm really curious. Like I haven't touched this game in months.
Joe's our resident lab monster here in the op
Ooh,
block,
the
so
patch
I'm
note
glad to
guru.
have him here because he's gonna also be able to help us. Joe, why don't you run us down some of the big changes that like let's do the we could talk about system wide changes. We're not gonna get too
Mm,
specific on characters here. We might talk a
Sure.
little bit about the characters we play. We talk a bit
Mhm.
about the system changes and some of the major changes that have happened. But for now, I think Joe, why don't you start us off with some of these system wide adjustments?
Yeah, one of the biggest ones is the addition of being able to now use your drop reversal on wake up. And this stops throw loops. This stops seemingly safe jumps. This stops like certain meaty pressure setups. And it's very, very good for characters that didn't have reversals before to like actually have a chance once somebody gets their oppressive offense going.
Right.
Um, Another big system change across the board is a lot more scaling to both move so that there's less damage and less meter gain after like perfect parries and such. And then one more like kind of across the board change is that the distance after back throws is kind of increased. So that those situations where you perfect parry somebody and then you back throw them, they're not now stuck on a throw loop situation. There's like a little bit more space. And this alone is going to just create more neutral situations. It's just more resets essentially, so that the games go like maybe a little bit longer, I'd say.
So I remember early on that they wanted higher damage for games to go a little quicker, or just to be like, a little bit more exciting. So now they're going back on that and they want lower damage now. Is that what's going on?
I would say that they still want like the damage that you get is still pretty significant in my opinion, but it's just less crazy. And I mean, like Marissa is still gonna like two touch you if you
Oh
just have
yeah.
a bad round, but like at the same time, like I kind of looked at it as is like okay, so let's say like Luke's combos, look, he's still able to get some stuff if it's the right situation, but a lot of his stuff has been nerfed because of the scaling, and but along with that, it's just I personally thought like 2 out of 3 rounds wasn't enough in this game because you don't really get a lot of information because of how fast the game's quick. So I'm kind of wondering if that's going to change at least a little bit because of the scaling, which I think is very good for the health of the game overall. Plus, the game's been out for a year, so it's very possible that Capcom kind of like just change their minds on a few things. So I mean, I think once this season 2 goes on, I guess probably until like CEO, we'll probably have a pretty good idea on what the game is going to be like speed wise, once that comes up.
Okay. That
Yeah.
sounds cool.
Yeah, I reckon we got until about CEO before things start getting figured out.
When is
Mhm.
CEO?
June 28th, my friend.
Oh, okay.
Late
So
June.
just about a month from now, huh?
Yeah, a good solid month from now. The
Mm.
pros are going to figure things out quick, but I reckon we're going to be finding new and impressive things
Mhm.
as it
Dude,
goes
I
further
cannot
on
wait
into
to
the.
see like how scary Akuma is gonna be once he's like optimized. That sounds insane to me.
Yeah, he's
Mm.
going to be real good. I have a
And I mean, we're
feeling.
already seeing cool stuff.
Yeah, he just with a character with walk speed like that and a variety of tools, he's going to always be subject to getting absolutely blown up, but
Mhm.
thus is everybody.
hmm what are some of the like we won't go over too many because there's like actually like a lot. But like what are some of y'all's favorite character specific changes? And changes that you thought needed to have been there since day one.
Can I start us off with that?
He's gonna
Please,
say JP. He's gonna say JP.
please.
He's gonna talk
No,
about JP.
no, I'm going to talk about Honda, dude. I'm a Honda man. I am a scrub lord. I picked
Oh
him
my
because
god.
I picked him like when this game first came out because I didn't know how to play charge characters and I wanted to learn and I fell in love with them. But then I realized that like, oh god, like headbutt and butt slam are is very overpowered in lower ranks, but once you hit the master, you're basically screwed. So one change that I absolutely love is that they nerfed headbutt and butt slam. They, I think they, I think they're really good tools, and you are able to abuse them just a little bit. So I think they may need to get retouched like a little bit eventually, but we'll see how the game goes and then like how the character goes in the next few months. But them nerfing headbutt and butt slam and then buffing his normal buttons such as crouching medium kick, uh, light kick and standing medium kick, like they're all cancelable into sumo spirit hands, and so along with that, uh, standing medium punch and standing medium kick along are all +6 on block. So it allows better opportunities if you get a hit in and start combos and pushing the opponent over to the wall. And it just makes him just a better neutral character. You don't have to rely on headbutt and butt slam in order to control neutral. It basically changes his entire game plan, in my opinion, and makes him a lot more fun to play, and I think a lot less frustrating to play against as well. Not saying that you don't want to frustrate your opponent, but at the same time, like, who wants to see butt slam spans all the friggin' time? So I think overall, for the health of the character, I think that's been a fantastic change for him.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that Honda is doing okay. I mean, you know, he's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, I don't think that he's going to be like a top tier character. I still think that as of now, he'll probably still be at the lower end of the. I don't want to talk about tier list, but he at least he at least gives you a little bit more wiggle room to at least be creative with the character and just make things work for you.
What do you think, Joe? I know you play a bit of Honda yourself. Do you agree with Peeps here?
Um, yeah, reading the changes alone, I would agree with that sentiment. I actually haven't played Honda yet, like in a match or even labbed much.
Mm.
I've just read the notes and was like, oh, really? You can now do standing medium kick in the hands. But
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I'd say I'm kind of underwhelmed with the changes just because he still has his core issues of having very slow buttons and some of the things that you'd like. Okay, the only thing if his entire change list was his crouching medium punch of 7 frames, as I've like said in the past, I probably would have been happy with it alone. But they didn't do that at all, and they went with a bunch of different directions that I don't think fix the character. They just like add more stuff you can do. Um, but he's okay. I think he is. I think every character, if you just read their patch notes, they seem like they're better in a vacuum. Perhaps sans maybe like DJ or JP, but how he stacks up with the cast, I don't know how much that's going to change.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right there. I don't think he's going to like become like all of a sudden watch out for Honda, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah,
Honda's
absolutely.
doing okay. He's eating
Yeah.
more than he was eating before, but he was already eating
Yep.
okay.
Like, I think it's going to be less of a struggle in higher ranks if you go into ranked mode. Like, I find myself having to think a bit less because of the changes so far, which is a good thing because I don't like thinking with Honda.
Yeah, you know, I've looked over quite a bit of the patch notes. I have pulled the switch off of Luke to Akuma, not because I think Luke's career is over. I think Luke's gonna be fine. I spent the majority of year one on Luke, and they took away a lot of his damage for sure. His damage numbers are down, big time down. So you know, lots of scaling, and that seemed to be another system wide patch. Was like most characters got themselves some kind of nerf to their combo starter, like a starting heavy
Mm-hmm.
punch,
Mm-hmm,
a
mm-hmm.
crouching medium punch. They all got higher scaling, which is gonna create problems for these problems for getting these 2 touch 3 touch kills like they used to. And when you put that onto a character like Luke, who you already have to be perfect with, no pun intended, um, to get the knuckles to come out
Oh,
just
I intended.
exactly right, you leaving that damage on the table is just, you can't afford to do that anymore. Now you got to hit him more times. He's gonna be good still, but who knows if he still is the best in the game. I mean, that's gonna be up for determination here. You know, for sure.
Hmm.
For sure.
I
Ed, have you looked at the notes at all? Have you?
me so I have been grand blue brained for like the
Okay.
past few months. Um, I have not taken the time to look at the notes. I'm going to make time for it, like either tomorrow night or this weekend, after work or whatever. But I don't know, man. I'm a little apprehensive on playing the game again. I feel like I've been gone or like not having touched it for so long. It's like I got a little bit left behind, but obviously we got people here that can take me back to school and get me up to snuff again. I don't know. It's weird. Lots of things change, and then there's lots of things that I haven't learned from year one of the game, quote unquote. And now there's all these new things to learn. It's like, oh man, I don't know. What? Here's one. Here's the thing. How do I get better at wanting to actually study frame data and all that stuff? Because that is like every time I think about doing it, I'm like, yeah, I should do this. And then when I sit down and try to do it, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I just want to play the game. I want to push buttons. Like, how do I just sit the fuck down and study the numbers?
Honestly, like
So you don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to like treat it like you're studying, which is probably your problem because you don't want to
Maybe
study.
that's
It
what it
sounds
is.
like so. Don't treat it
Yeah.
like it's studying. Make it a game. Gamify,
Mm,
which probably makes it easier for you, and realize that the only way you're going to get your game to a not maybe not the only way, but part of getting your game to a higher level is understanding these mathematical scenarios that are happening. Like
mm,
Jamie does like let's say a throw loop scenario. The reason a throw loop works is because of just simple frame data. It's after a throw, after your certain dash, you're plus this. So if you throw, if they do anything other than this, you get the throw. So and
Mhm.
knowing these simple scenarios can like like adding a tool. For me, I have like some of the most fun wanting to lab and like practicing quote unquote frame data is because I'll just think, okay, I knocked this guy down, and the knockdown advantage is, let's just say, plus 29. And for me, I'll say, what does that mean? Can I dash up? Okay, I can dash up because let's say I have a 22 frame dash. That means I'm plus 7 after this dash. What does plus 7 mean? Okay, that means if I go and press this button and they went to wake up jab, I'll beat it. And if I beat it, I'll get a counter hit. And on counter
Mhm.
hit, there's now maybe some sort of unique combo that I couldn't do before. And that's like the part of like that's where the fun is. You have to be able to have fun figuring that out, or you just won't.
I have never thought about it that way. Literally, have never thought about it. That's cool. I can
Yeah,
do it.
I always looked at it as like trying to figure out a puzzle. And when it first started, I didn't know what connected into what, and and I didn't want to look too much stuff up. But when I figured out, I was like, oh, okay, so I'm +8 on this situation. Oh, I can hit him with a standing heavy punch and then start something there and do and link into whatever it goes into. So I was just trying to figure out like what pieces of the puzzle fit and what creates a full picture. And I think that's fun for me.
And
Hmm.
then lastly, it's when doing that, you understanding frame data, you can like kind of run simulations in the
Mm-hmm.
training mode. You can kind of like set things up and like to the frame make it happen. Like you go, okay, this guy's
Mm-hmm.
gonna wake up jab, and after I knock this guy down, I'm gonna dash up and try this button. Does it work? I'm gonna dash up and try this button. Does it work? And then you just find like the math that it does. And then that's like another like small little tool that you have in your belt now, so that anytime that actually happens in a game, you can recreate it, and it's not all just like reactions and like things are happening. You're like playing with purpose.
Probably is the big problem that it is. I was treating studying frame data and learning up on matchups like homework. And then there's that negative association to it. The way you guys explained it just now is really cool. Like I have never considered, oh, it's like a puzzle, treat it like a game, blah blah blah, this and that. And it makes
But
total
it is a game. Like you're
it
playing a game.
makes
You gotta
total
Mm-hmm.
you got
yeah. Man, yeah. Well, now Joe, circling back to your question, have I read the patch notes? Now I have to because it's like, oh, you know what? You just gave me this new perspective on the game, and so now it's just like I'm less wary of trying to get back in the mix. You know.
Yeah, the reason some of the reason these patch notes are neat is because these single frame changes can be the difference between something now linking that didn't, or something getting a unique combo now off counter, like I was mentioning. Like some of the changes that I like are Aki changes, and she has a ton. And one of them is they changed her standing medium kick from a 9 frame startup to an 8 frame startup. And that alone, and knowing that, means that you can set up combos now that just weren't possible before. Um, and her light kick now starts up in 4 frames instead of 5, which means it's now chainable with her other
Oh
lights.
wait! That's 4 frames now.
Right, yeah. And
That's
these small
crazy.
things like are things that are like, oh, okay, this is like what Frame is about. This is like what's to be
Oh
excited about it
man.
and why it's important.
So those changes alone like put her back on the map, huh? That's wild, man. Yeah, yeah. I think after this, I'll probably take the time to look at it, see how my character of choice has changed, how other characters have changed. Like I know from like the clips that have been posted here and the clips I see on Twitter and stuff, certain characters are eating a little better than others. But like it's wild to see like Ryu for example. He went from not being picked as much near the beginning stages of the game to now he's like this friggin' monster of a character with all the changes he got in the recent patch. It's wild to see. Some you know what I've been seeing? Some higher level players have been saying that he might be like just a little bit better than Ken now. It's crazy to think
I mean,
that.
if there's, I watch a lot of tournament Street Fighter. Last night was TNS. Tonight there's a couple things going on right now. I think the Casa tournaments tonight. I think
Yeah.
Mm.
Trolley might be tonight as well. The Trolley sour gummy worm bracket.
Oh,
Um, but last night, Paladin just walked through TNS
Mm,
with
and what
Ryu.
character does he pick?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
Ryu.
Ryu
oh
man.
wow.
Yeah, and he's a young man. He's in like 18, I think.
I think he was 17.
17 or 18, young man, and he just walked through the TNS tournament. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, he's eating right now. Ryu fans are happy.
It is
Um,
crazy his changes, man.
yeah, lots of stuff that's hard to deal with now. Everybody feels a bit beefier that I've fought. Some
I
characters maybe not changed enough. We talk Guile, you can talk, Blanca, minor
mhm.
nerfs to their stuff, but
For
so,
me,
so,
great.
so can you explain to me, like, maybe just a brief description of like what exactly has changed with Ryu? Because I haven't had the chance to play him online yet,
Um,
or and look at his patch notes.
yeah, the biggest change, and this is like what was purported very early, is that Ryu can now decide when he uses the Denjin stock once he has it stocked up. The light
Oh,
and medium fireball will just work like a regular fireball, and the light and medium Hashogeki work just like the regular ones. But only when he throws the heavy one will it be the Denjin style, which now
Mhm.
allows new combos, new fireball patterns, just different kind of like pressure. You can now like throw a light fireball, drive rush behind it, and say if that crouching medium kick hits, it can now combo into, or cancel, I should say, into the Denshin Hashigaki that he still has stocked. That's probably like the biggest one. They made his super 1 frame faster, so that allows certain links that weren't possible for as well.
Okay.
But yeah, the biggest one is that the Denjin change.
hmm
Um, his heavy punch is a little bit more plus. Uh, Oh, and another big one is his solar plexus strike, the big two hitting heavy punch, forward
Hmm.
heavy punch. It's now +3 on block.
Oh, that's crazy.
+3 on block from +4.
That's crazy. That's plus
Yeah.
3 on block.
Let's not block. That is
And
wild.
they
What?
actually removed the scaling from the move. So, the initial scaling. So like when you start the combo with thing, you're gonna get the big damage.
Is it? What is it on hit?
Yo.
It's on hit. It is +6.
Okay.
You get a crouch
So you can
medium
do
punch.
medium punch or crouch medium punch. But you could also do his new, similar to Honda. He has his target combos can now go into Dungeon stock.
Mm-hmm.
So you could go perhaps Solar Plexus Strike. It's +3 on block, and then if they want to press something, you could go his medium punch, light kick, heavy kick, target combo back in the Dungeon stock.
Okay, so you're able to, so you have more opportunities to get dungeon. Then
Mhm,
that's
mhm.
that's excellent.
Yeah,
And then of
his
course control when you use it.
fireball on block got buffed by several frames.
On hit. On hit.
Oh, on hit rather. On
Yeah, I
hit.
thought it was
So
block
yeah,
initially too.
not block. We talked about that. It was on hit. Yeah, which
Which
is
is
still
why you
good.
can do new
You know,
combos.
new combos allowing. Those projectile setups in the corner on wake up are gonna those meaty Hadokens are gonna get a lot scarier. Um, yeah, Ryu's just eating right now. He's doing everything.
Yeah.
Everything's doing well, and being able to. It's really impactful that now that he can have explosive combo opportunities available to him, and a projectile at the same time. Because before he had to choose both.
Yeah.
Drew in the chat complaining about butt slam. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna say no. No, you don't get to be mad about butt slam.
Wait, what do you
I've been
mean, dude?
playing Akuma now for 2 full days. You just gotta jump and hit that button with a button. It's
That's
not that
like
hard.
it's like straight up like the butt slam like hurt box on Honda while he's in the air is really large and ridiculous. Like more people just need to jump up and just hit it.
Yeah,
Like whenever
Was
now
that the solution the whole time?
yeah, absolutely.
the
Like
jump
every
back
time
button is so good.
yeah, so like every time that I play against really good Marissa's, shout out to ABY, is like they understand that Marissa's like anti-air isn't really good in general. So just jump up and heavy medium like a punch, or just like jump and do the cross up kick that she has, and just beats it every single time. So just
Writing
jump
this
and do a
down
cross up.
right now.
Yep. Jump back, cross up. And
Yeah,
even if he goes to the other side of you, you'll still hit him.
yeah.
And with Ryu getting stuff off a jump medium punch, I'm sure that there's routes where you can jump medium punch Tatsu. I don't know if you can do neutral jump Tatsu with Ryu or
Not
not.
after medium punch,
No.
no.
Okay.
Only a forward jump, unfortunately.
Well, maybe can you do neutral jump EX? Could you do jump EX Tatsu in the air?
For butt slam, maybe, but I think the timing's really hard.
Yeah, I don't know if neutral jump, but yeah, I mean like with Akuma, obviously being the new character and we're still
Mhm.
learning everything, but like get to neutral jump, hit the medium punch, and go into EX air Hadoken and
Mhm.
get full combos off of that. And it's
That
not that hard to do. Surprisingly,
yeah.
is not that hard to do. We played a bunch of matches in the last couple of days, peeps. It's something
Mhm.
that after our first couple games together, it's starting to pick up. It's not
Yeah.
crazy difficult.
Yeah. And that being said, I think you're gonna see like knock on wood, but I think you're gonna see a lot more Hondas not use butt slam as much as just neutral options. It's either gonna be anti-air or just like a jump scare because it's not as reliable as it used to be.
Okay. But yeah, Drew saying Ryu can't neutral Tatsu. I'm sure at least jumping medium punch will trade, or not trade, but give you a clean hit.
Mhm.
And then I don't know, there might be something you can do land and super. I don't know. There's potential there.
Yeah.
I have to hit
Yeah.
the lab. Ryu's not my guy.
Yeah.
Not my guy.
But your
It's
guy,
not
it's
anyone's
Akuma.
guy.
And
Yep.
he doesn't have any patch notes because he came out at the same time as the patch. And now that we're 2 days in, how are you feeling about Akuma?
I love him. He's great. It was like
Really?
putting on a pair of shoes that you had a pair of these shoes before and they were your favorite shoes, right? And you put like thousands of miles in these shoes, and then you get a new pair of shoes, but they're the exact same pair of shoes you had before, but they don't feel the same. That's what Akuma is right now, and the more I walk in them, the more I'm finding the similarities and stuff. It's just taking time to. The only complaint I have is that I feel like the Raging Demon is just there for style. It's not really super useful. Um, it's too risky at your life total. You get it when you've got under 1,000 HP left. Like you are, or not. I'm sorry, not 1,000. Under 2,000.
25%.
Under 2,000 HP. Yeah, 25% of 9K. Yeah. I remember Akuma doesn't have.
Yeah.
So like he's low health when you have that demon present. So messing up and getting hit by a Hadoken trying to go through one, or God forbid doing it and them deciding instead of a Hadoken they're going to do anything else, it loses and you lose all your meter, all your comeback potential. It's all gone up in a poof of smoke. You don't even get the animation. It's just over. The only thing I don't like is the new Raging Demon. I wish that it
Mhm.
it had more setups, but I get it.
Like
Instead, we have
the only
this
setup is standing heavy kick, right?
standing
But
heavy kick. Anywhere that you can be +3, you can rip a
mhm.
Raging Demon, and they have to choose to be holding up. Otherwise,
Mm.
they're gonna get grabbed.
Okay.
So there's situations to set it up. There's times where like low forward drive rush Raging Demon, that's gonna work. Because people aren't trying to jump away from that. Your drive
Point
rush.
blank
So
and
yeah,
plus, yeah.
yeah. So like that's just gonna take time to do, but also it seems like it comes at an inopportune time. You're low on drive meter. You most of the time because you're low on life. You've been fighting. It's usually round number 3, maybe the end of round 2. It's just I don't love the situation where you have demon available to you,
Mhm.
that it just feels super risky to try to run this out when you could just do like the cheap stand heavy punch into quarter circle back punch and then do the Raging Demon and you get the damage, but it's in the combo. I mean, you still get to see the animation, but that I got hit by a demon effect is kind of gone. It's like, yeah, you got hit by my critical art. It's not really fancy anymore. Before it was like, oh, he did the Kara overhead into the raging. Like that shit's gone. Like you're not gonna see those
Oh,
moments
Kara
anymore.
Demon's gone.
Yeah,
Oh
Kara
man,
Demon's gone. Any
no.
and they can interrupt it. Like if there's a
Oh,
button even out, there's no invincibility on it. So if it happens on frame 1, but if there's a button that exists on that frame, you get hit. There's no
I don't think
invincibility.
it ever had invincibility, right?
Yeah, it did. It used to
Oh,
have
really?
invincibility.
In which
Yeah,
game?
I think all of them. You could wake up Raging Demon and it would be like waking up with a DP.
It had invincibility in Third Strike. I do not remember that. That's crazy.
I have to look it up, but I'm positive it had some kind of
I don't. I'm not
invincibility.
saying you're wrong. I just don't remember like that. That's cool. Okay. Shit.
And if it didn't, the reason I'm not remembering it is because there were other ways of landing it, like getting it out of a Kara situation, or
Hmm.
you know, like right now, I don't feel like there's a whole lot of ways we're gonna land this demon right now. That's gonna be just outside of combos.
How do you feel about Misogi and Kongo Kakuretsu's being
Eh,
hidden behind a 20-second taunt?
yeah, they just don't exist in the game as far as I'm concerned.
They should have just given it to him.
Uh,
He should have just had him. I don't
and,
know.
it is what it is. They're
Mhm.
visually cool, but they're not stunning. They do look like World Tour animations. They just kind
Mhm.
of look like they're tacked on. And I
Mm.
appreciate the nod. Sure, who wouldn't? Thank you. And they put it in the game and it's accessible to anybody. I mean, how cool would it be? Evo, top 8, two players as Daigo and Takedo are both playing Akuma, and they decide gentlemen's agreement we're both gonna have a rice ball before we start fighting this
Oh
match.
That would
man,
be
You know,
awesome.
that'd be
like
extremely hype.
there could be moments of like really cool hype behind it, but also, it's just that. It's a cool Easter egg in this game.
Do you think that at any point in the future they're just gonna give it to him?
I'm worried that the hackers will find a way.
Oh man,
We're gonna be
that's
playing against Shin
unfortunate.
Akuma on CFN.
That would actually be kind of bad. Now that man, I did not consider that. That actually sucks. Fuck. Oh no. Oh man. The guys that paid the 400 also paid for Shin Akuma Online. That's crazy. Oh man.
Yeah, it's silly stuff. But yeah, overall, the patch much bigger than I thought it was going to be. I give credit to Capcom for putting out a gigantic patch. I was a little worried when we were starting to see some of the trickling coming out. It was like, hey, we slightly nerfed the range on this. I was like, holy cow, this patch is going to do nothing. And it does feel like it's done something. People are hyped. Characters have moved around in popularity and play numbers. We'll see if they stick. See if players stick on. Like obviously everyone's playing Akuma right now. Got Knuckle Dew. We Knuckle Dew's in our local. We spent a lot of time hanging out in his Twitch chat and talking with him on Discord, and he's been talking about going to Akuma.
Yeah,
The
that's crazy.
last 2 nights he's been in um the last couple nights he's been in the Akuma lab just grinding. So yeah, I mean, very exciting. Obviously, Akuma comes into the game. You got to put hands on him. You got to figure out what he does because there are going to be some people playing him, and you know he dies quick. I will say that. There are rounds where you win in 10 seconds, and there are rounds where you lose just as fast. So
You know what my favorite change has been though so far, and it's one that everyone has been talking about: the jukebox.
Yeah.
I I think that is the best change overall to the game.
So I love that change. I don't love they have to pay money for all these soundtracks when
Like
back in
actual real money.
well, drive tickets, or if you don't have the drive tickets, you can spend real money. Well, and like I don't like how you have to spend money to get all of them when Tekken 8 has the jukebox available for free, but they're both, I mean, whatever, companies are going to make money. But overall, it's been really awesome. Just putting just a Sakura theme on every single stage.
It's cool.
I love that song. And Q's theme from Third Strike. It's been,
What?
yeah.
I was just gonna ask. What all games did they add? Is it just every Street Fighter game? Or?
no
Every
Street Fighter 1.
Fighter,
No
like
Street
like
Fighter
character
1.
themes. Oh, no Street Fighter 1?
No Street Fighter 1. He's
What?
starting at Street
No, that's a
Fighter.
bummer.
Starting at
Yeah.
Street Fighter 2, you get
Yeah.
2 Turbo Ultra. You get 3 Second Impact and Third Strike. You get Alpha
Yeah.
1, Alpha 2, Alpha 3, Street Fighter 4, and Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, then there's no EX games
No
either.
EX
And EX
games.
has fantastic tracks
Great
too.
music.
Man, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
great.
Well, I
Yeah.
think the reason they can't
Mm.
use EX is because Arica still has the rights to that.
Yeah, the rights are split between developers
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
That
So
makes
that
sense.
one makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
I
say
will.
out of everything, I bought all of them.
Yeah.
Alpha 3, and actually I will say this, I bought all except Alpha 3. Alpha
Oh
3 I
damn.
think has some of the weakest Street Fighter music. It's just very
Dude, no
repetitive.
way. I resent that.
Eh, it's
Reuse theme in Alpha 3 is insane.
I'll
Mhm.
listen to it, but they're very if they feel like short loops to me, I don't really like them. But out of all of them, I mean, I think with the drive tickets I had accrued over playing, and I don't really buy much of anything else. I spent like $15 more on fighter coins to get everything, including
Yeah.
the drive tickets I spent. And I didn't realize that Giant Attack is happening right now in the Battle Hub. And I had like another 5, 6, 7,000 drive tickets sitting in there waiting for me to go get them. Like just to go fight this robot Akuma level 8 CPU. What do you guys
Yeah,
think of
they're
that?
handing them out.
Also, well, we talked Giant Attack while we're here. We've been playing that a little bit today.
I've only done. I haven't beaten Surinakuma yet. I've been a couple. I only had the chance to play like probably like 3 games against him. But it's a fun mode. I
What
like
is
it.
CERN Akuma? What does CERN stand for?
It's CERN is the bad company and World Tour. So it's like
Okay.
a simulation of a Shin Akuma pretty much.
An evil clone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Evil clone boss Akuma. Got it. I see. I didn't know what CERN is because I never finished the world tour mode.
I didn't either. I just know it because I watch YouTube videos.
Yeah, the world tour mode is kind of
It's not for me.
Yeah, it's
I'll
not for
say
it's
that
not for
it's
Yeah.
me.
not for me. People like World
Definitely not.
Tour mode. It's there for people. It's just not for me.
I mean, it's good that it's in there because
Yeah,
it's a video
for sure,
game, but it's like
Mm,
for sure,
Mhm.
whatever.
for
Yeah.
I
sure.
got
Enchanted
what I
Talent.
wanted out of it, and then I never played it again. So that was
Let me
it.
see.
I Yeah, but I'll tell you what was more annoying than anything with the jukebox is there's no way to sort through the music when selecting
Oh,
them for
Yeah.
your like it's inconvenient to scroll through the entire list every time you want to go down to like pick a Street Fighter 4 track. If you buy more than one album, you've got like hundreds of tracks to scroll through.
did they include Street Fighter Five music?
Yep.
Oh,
hmm
Yeah.
nice,
But
nice.
The
Street Fighter Five
obviously
had a banger soundtrack.
we've got no stage like was said already, no stage music and no special music
Oh,
like we were seeing in chat here, HG's talking about the Devil May Cry music and some of the
Mhm.
Mega Man music that made
so
its way
like
to Street Fighter
no
5.
Ring of Pride, no Ring of like
No, not
oh,
yet.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
yet.
oh
Not
man.
yet. Not yet. Let them
Okay, okay,
cook. I
okay,
mean, I'm sure they're going to bring out another wave of music and get
okay.
another
Right, because those were
15
Capcom
bucks out
stuff.
of me.
So
Yeah.
this is all just Street Fighter, and then now they have a chance to bring Capcom music still.
Do you
As
think
like,
they'll add music from like other games, like from
Yeah.
Probably they want to make more
like
money.
something from like
Yeah, why
Mega
wouldn't
Man or
they?
whatever?
If they've
yeah, they did
literally
in
got
five.
an MP3 player in their game,
Mm,
why not charge for the tracks?
mm.
You know.
Yeah.
That's
So,
cute. That's a good change. I like that change a lot. I will just be using the Street Fighter 3 Third Strike soundtrack exclusively, probably.
yeah, yeah,
It's my
Just
Dark
favorite one.
just
Darkstalkers stage music for Halloween HG10 would
yeah.
Oh,
be
that'd be cool.
insane.
Yeah.
It'd
That
be
would be neat.
insane. That'd be really, really cool.
Music from like,
Are you lady?
let's see, like the beat 'em ups, like the Alien vs Predator beat 'em up, Final Fight, Captain Commando music. That'd be
Is there
neat.
some Final Fight or music in there, or is oh no, it's just Cody's theme and in
Yeah,
Alpha 3.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our Final Fight pass, we had like Cody and Guy music from
Yeah.
the previous games.
Hmm.
Like Poison, I think maybe.
Yeah. This game's gonna last a long time, so I imagine they're gonna find more opportunities to sell us music and other things.
Yeah, we're in just the end of year one of what's
Hmm.
likely to be a 7, 8 year run of a game. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we got a
Are
long
we
way
gonna
to
be
go.
are we gonna be locked in for Street Fighter 7 or are we clocking out?
Me, I'll be clocking out probably at the end of Street Fighter 6. I think it's
Oh
time
no.
time to grow, time to go on to bigger and better things, man.
Oh
Go get
man.
my great reward up in the sky.
No. Oh no. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I'm right there with you. We're getting up there in our numbers attached to how long we've been on this planet. So, maybe this might be the last Street Fighter for me, but I don't know. I still really like fighting games though. I don't
Yeah, saying
yeah,
last is a weird thing. It's the last.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know, when I
it
say
feels weird.
last, it's the last one I probably will enter a tournament for. I'll say it
Okay.
that way.
So
I'm
you'll still
probably
keep
gonna
up with it
play
and
the
stuff.
fighting games my whole life. I love the
Yeah.
FGC.
Uh,
If I can show up once in a while, go to an Evo or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the last one I'll be
so that's when you
competitively
go
viable
hard in
Well,
the
for.
paint with
Yeah.
competitively.
I mean, you probably like I would imagine that you would still like go to CEO like yearly still and just like
Yeah, if
compete
it's
just for
in
the hell of it.
a
But
couple hours from my house, but yeah.
you made it sound a bit more more of
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like he's
it.
like before I go up in
Like,
the sky.
it's like why would you phrase it that way?
I take my FGC career out back and
Yeah.
tell it to look at the rabbits.
No. You see, we're gonna
you
have a big farm and we're gonna have lots of
know,
rabbits.
There's
this
gonna be
fucking
Oh,
old yeller.
so many frames there.
everything's gonna be plus on block, Mike. It's
Yeah.
all gonna be plus on block, and you're gonna have
Yeah.
Loki, and that's gonna kill
Yeah.
every time. Your combo's gonna kill.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness, that's funny
Damn,
stuff.
dude. Before we wrap this up, because we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting close. We're on the edge. Peeps, you got to tell us a little bit more about yourself. Like besides the fighting game stuff, like what other stuff do you like? What other stuff do you play? What are you good at besides fighting games and stealing my cat's name?
uh, damn, that's a loaded question. I guess hobbies wise, I play bass guitar and
Ooh,
guitar, and although
okay, okay.
I've recently been a few years removed from it, but I've been trying to pick it back up again, and so that's something I do enjoy doing, and just learning new songs and just trying to get better or try to get back to where I used to be back in my college years.
Mm,
But other than that, like for video games, I almost exclusively played like RPGs and JRPGs and
nice, nice.
like it also like I pretty much like I would consider myself as like as a semi speed runner for like Resident Evil games, and every time a
Ooh,
Resident Evil game comes out, like I try to beat it within 3 hours is the goal for me. And like once it comes out, then I drop it, and then I'll probably go back to it after a year or two. I
nice.
actually haven't done that for the new Resident Evil 4 remake. That's something I beat it in 5 hours last time that I checked, so I should go back to it. And but at the same time, I've been playing Street Fighter 6 way too much, which leaves so little time in learning how to speedrun those games. And but the other games that I enjoy playing is like I love Final Fantasy. I love anything by Capcom, pretty much. And
We're
I
talking like Breath of Fire, stuff like that.
Breath of Fire 3 is one of my favorite RPGs ever made.
Hell yes.
Yeah, Breath of
Hell
Fire.
yes.
I would love to see Breath of Fire to come back. I think it will come back eventually because it was included in a recent Capcom survey.
Ooh,
And historically, Capcom surveys they do have weight when it comes to their long term plans. So we probably won't see anything from it from that specific survey that they had about 6 months ago. We probably won't see anything like coming to fruition from it until like probably 6 or 8 years. And so probably cool. So HG mentioned Star Ocean 2
okay, okay.
remake. That is a phenomenal game. Basically I love all like RPGs from 1998. Back with that games that came out when I was like 4 years old. So
We're talking
um
like Dark Cloud, Tales of Symphonia type beat, right?
yeah, stuff like
Hell
that.
yeah.
Like Suikoden and
Oh yes, dude, bangers.
I'm that kind of like RPG player, like
Hell yeah.
Xenogears and also like Xenoblade Chronicles, Xenosaga. But yeah, I mostly play RPGs and Devil May Cry like games.
Okay, okay, cool. Man, I like Peeps.
Peeps is good people. I
Yeah.
can say
Eh,
that. I can say
You know
that.
what?
Yeah, I'm happy to see
I
him every local. He's always there with a big hug.
I
It's nice to
Aw.
forsake
see
my
Peeps.
cat Peeps and I accept this new Peeps. Yeah.
Well, don't kill your cat for me, please.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna stop
Good.
feeding
uh, yeah, but yeah.
That's sick, man. We should talk RPG sometime. I'm like getting back into them. Like I've been playing Bravely Default 2 lately. It's a very fun game.
Mhm.
It's not as good as the original, I think. That
It
one's
is
like
not.
that's one of my favorite games of all time, but it's still fun. It's still
Hmm.
fun. Um gosh, what do I want to say? What else do I want to say? Joe, Mike, what do you guys got going on in the future? Anything cool you guys have planned? Any you know, any goals you guys have with this upcoming patch, or just like going to locals or whatever,
Yeah,
or with the op block in general? Like, what do you guys got going on with that?
I'll let Joe go first here.
Let's do it.
Uh, yeah, I'd like to do a lot better at the locals and basically any other tournament I go to for this season, combined with some of the buffs that some of the characters I play got. I think I don't have any good excuse in a sense. There are some things that I could like maybe lean on them and say, ah, well, gee, they make it so I can't do this, that, or the other. But a lot of the stuff they got are good enough to want to like go harder and make a
Mhm.
concerted effort at being maybe not the best, but one of the better those players. Like in this case, Lily Inaki, be a
Okay.
better one of the top Lily Inaki players.
I want to see you there, man. That'd be cool. It'd be sick. What is Papa Mike planning though?
Just the same. I say same old thing. I mean, I want to be at the local every other week. Neon Dreams. Make sure we'll post a link in our Discord later for their Twitch channel. Make sure you watch and hang out. We get really good competition there. I mean, Knuckle Dude, Gentleman Thief, Simple Tricks. It's Kid Frost, ABY. The list. It's Comfy Ningen. Goes on and on.
Yeah,
There's
that's
lots
also
of
on
Shout
my
out to the
list.
killers. Shout out to the
I
killers.
need
yeah.
to beat Comfy Ningen in a tournament this year.
Mm.
I need to get taken to school by all those guys.
Yeah.
I need to. That's one of my goals here. I need to get. I need to go back to the nitty gritty, the basics. Just brush up my game a lot because that's been one of the things that's like been frustrating me lately. Mostly in Grand Blue, but it's like I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm gonna have you guys be like just bash my head into the wall until something happens. Basically,
Yeah,
man.
my another personal goal I have is to spend more time in the open lobbies of some of these streamers that
Mhm.
host and have professional players come and hang out, just to
Mhm.
play higher talented people, and strive to improve and make my Akuma as good as I possibly can. So I do
At
want
the
to become
end,
a
go on.
more I want to become a scarier threat at the local as well. I can do it. I've shown that I can do it in the past. I need to get back there and do it again. So
Yeah, I'm in
The
the
end of
same
the
boat.
year, the end of the year, we're gonna see Mike. We're gonna see Mike going up against Tokido and killing him on stage.
yeah,
Just,
Crazy.
so I don't
just,
have to play him in top eight.
he's gonna do Raging Demon and pull the taquito and just stand with the projector on his
Oh
back.
man, oh man, be crazy.
So if you like, did the event get a new projector screen? 'Cause I can see it perfectly on his back. It's fine.
Yeah,
A new
yeah.
widescreen projector.
I think, yeah, I think the only goal for me, like FGC wise, is that I just want to win money in the tournament. I placed fifth and fourth way too many times that I want to count, and I haven't broken that third place curse or fourth place curse. And so I just want to be able just
Yeah.
to win at least like a couple bucks and say that hasn't been a total waste of money for me, but I'm getting there.
When you win your first money in Street Fighter, you get to say, "I'm a professional fighting game. I've earned money doing this."
I think I'm gonna set that small goal. I guess
Yeah.
is like at
Uh,
least a top 8, one top
That
8. I'll settle for 8th place once. That'll probably be a
that
good
reminds me of
achievement.
one time I was talking with Simple Tricks but like at a local and he called himself a professional Street Fighter 6 like Street Fighter player, and he just stopped and says, "Wait, can I say that?" He's like and I was like, "Yeah, you're like the only person in this room who can say that." So you're good. You're good.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny stuff. Always good. Well, I'm
Yeah.
happy to have everybody on the show this week. I mean, kind of short notice. We just popped in, wanted to have an episode. We were all
Mhm.
playing the patch not an hour ago before we jumped in here to talk about it, and that's probably where we're all going next to turn it all back on and get back in the lab and grind things out. But before we go, we got a tradition here at Hot Off the Block. We like to put something in your ears every week. So we got some music recommendations for you
Ooh.
this week. I'm sure mine is going to be pretty similar to Ed's, I reckon. Um,
Oh, absolutely.
I think
I got one right here.
what have you got there for us, Ed?
It's old school stuff. I'll post the link in just a second in the sound test. It's by this group called RBL Posse. It's Don't Give Me No Bammer Weed. It's an old school beat. It's very fun hearing that old school rap sound. I've been going through like an old school rap kick again because like I watched the NWA movie, so I just did like a deep dive on those like older a history of older rap scene. It's stuff like that. It's fun. What do you got, Mike?
I'm putting it in the sound test right now as well. I'm bringing out On Sight by Tara Reid.
Yes, dude,
Man,
I love that
yeah,
song.
this song's too good.
It's
I
so
mean,
good.
it's really, really good. It's a lot
Hmm.
of fun. He's got like an old school flow. I've talked about Tara Reid on here before. I don't think I might have wrecked one thing by him before, but if not, just check him out. He's got new shit all the time. It's good. Enjoying it.
What about Joe and Peeps? What do y'all got?
Go ahead, peeps.
So for the spirit of being invited to the OppBlock, I wanted to recommend a favorite artist of mine, Kamasi Washington. He recently put out a new album called, what's it called? It's called Fearless. I forgot at the top of my head. It's very good, but he's also a very well-known Street Fighter fan, and he has a song that was released in 2018 called Street Fighter Moss. It is a fantastic jazz. He's a fantastic jazz artist, a jazz saxophonist, and his music is just really good vibes and make you feel really cool.
Awesome. Looking forward to
I'm
checking that
listening right
out for
now. It
sure.
sounds kind of hot. Yeah. What do you got, Joe?
Gee whiz. I'm not. Well,
We
I want
put
to
him
say I'm
on the
not a music guy.
spot.
That would be stupid. But I haven't listened to a lot of stuff recently. Most of the time when I do listen to music nowadays, it'll be kind of like upbeat stuff that you can kind of like jump rope to.
Okay.
So anything with kind of like a beat is kind of cool with me. And to that end, I'll say, post it also in the sound test, of course. It's I Want to Know by Too Mellow. It's from the
Hell yeah.
soundtrack of Cyber Rush, or
Okay.
Bime Rush
Okay.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
It's good. Little funky
Familiar.
soundtrack.
Very familiar with this.
Mm-hmm.
This looks cool. Well, folks, Peeps, Joe, thanks for coming onto the mics tonight. Thanks for everybody that stopped by tonight to watch, listen to us talk for a little bit. Hopefully, we'll get the show back on a normal schedule now. There was a bit of a hiatus. Stuff happened, but it's all getting worked out. We're on the up. You know, things are gonna be going as normal later on. I want to give a big shout out to Sarasota gang. All the guys up in Florida. Everyone that's spread across the nation in the op block. Love you guys. What's it called? Papa Mike, Peeps, Joe, Ningen, Place, Drew, all those guys. Always a shout out. But especially a big shout out to Bon Bon for being here the whole time on the mic with us today. He's going to be on every episode now. You won't hear him, but he's always going to be there. And to that I say, good night, Bon Bon. Have a good sleep.
And also, I would be, remiss to not mention congrats for making Master. Since our last episode,
Oh,
Bon
yeah.
Bon
Mm-hmm.
climbed all the way up from not playing any fighting games to being a Master Street Fighter player now. So that's pretty cool. It's a cool accomplishment. You always like to see that here in the op. Do it. Send me your link. You'll get a mention on the show for sure. Um, especially if you're new. I mean, I'm not gonna put your third character trip to master rank. I don't give a crap at that point. It's like your second kid, man. We'll give a baby shower for the first one. That second kid, that's your problem. But anyway, all right, everybody. Well, I mean, as far as it goes for me, I'm all out of stuff to talk about tonight. We are going to get more regular with these in the future. I mean, we got our local that was normally on Thursdays moved to Saturdays, so there's no excuses now. So it should be coming out every other Thursday without pause.
Heck yeah. All right. Thank you for having me.
Yep.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thanks for
Likewise.
coming
Thanks,
on.
guys.
Thanks again, Joe and Peeps.
Thanks, Joe and Peeps.
Appreciate
Yep.
you guys.
Bye, everybody. I love you.
Good
Love you too.
night.
Good night.
Oh, man. That was good.